Hi, my name is Maria. You are watching Underland 76.
All right. So, if you watched the vlog that I uploaded, my last video, um, with the statue of Dale Howard Chuck in the thumbnail, um, while I was at that statue, or going to it, a lady sent me this. It's about eggs. World Egg Day. Please be aware. Okay. And she handed me this pumpkin spice muffin that was made with no eggs. All right. Uh, but anyway, this sheet of paper says almost 90% of Canada's roughly 26 million laying hens are housed in battery cage systems. Hens housed in battery cages are densely packed with 3 to 8 hens in any given cage. To understand just how crowded these cages are, picture a standard piece of printer paper, which would be about this. Now discard a quarter of the page, so it would be roughly that size. The remaining 3/4 of the page of paper represents the amount of floor space each hen has. It's according to the BC Humane Society. It is also crowded. I mean, it is so crowded that they do not have enough space to spread their wings or even move around. There's nothing for them to do but eat, drink, and lay eggs. As a result, they commonly suffer from sore feet and legs, weak or brittle bones, stress, aggression, and boredom. Enriched cages give them 3 centimeters more. The date volunteered by the Canadian egg industry for phasing them out is 2036. 14 years and hundreds of millions of hens from now. Because of stress-caused aggression, the beaks of the female chicks are clipped or seared without anesthetic. Um, Male chicks are of no use to the industry. They are disposed of by dropping them alive into a grinder, a process known in the industry as maceration, or by gassing or suffocation. There are no laws in Canada to protect them. Um, the reward for a life of unnaturally intensive egg production is premature death and to be treated like trash. Whom to pity more, the dead hens or the hens that are not quite dead on arrival? The Brady landfill in Winnipeg. Wow. I got a picture of all the dead hens and everything. I'm not going to show these pictures because it's just wrong. Now that Manitoba has joined other conservative provinces by legislating ag-gag laws, the only factory farms consumers and animal welfare advocates will have access to are the show farms. The industry will continue to insist it's humane. Don't pay for cruelty. Please reduce or eliminate your consumption of animal foods. Join the plant food revolution. So yeah, I have no idea what to think about this. I'm gonna look up a few things here though. La 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 la. Battery cage systems. Let's do that. Alright. Battery cage system. Battery cage. Oh, look at that. Wikipedia has the exact same picture that's on this paper. Battery cages are a housing system used for various animal production methods. Okay, so it's not really, they didn't copy that from there. Primarily for egg-laying hens. The name arises from the arrangement of rows and columns of identical cages connected together in a unit, as in an artillery battery. Although the term is usually applied to poultry farming, similar cage systems are used for other animals. Battery cages have generated controversy between advocates for animal welfare and industrial producers. So the woman that gave me the paper is obviously an advocate for animal welfare. Not saying what she's doing is wrong or what she stands for is wrong or right. I'm just putting this information out there for you to decide. Because, yeah, this is crazy. Battery cages are the predominant form of housing for laying hens worldwide. They reduce aggression and cannibalism among hens, but are barren, restrict movement, prevent many natural behaviors, and increase rates of osteoporosis. As of 2014, approximately 95% of eggs in the US were produced in battery cages. In the UK, statistics from the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, indicate that 50% of eggs produced in the UK throughout 2010 were from cages, 45% from free range, 5% from barns. The EU ban on battery cage hens, European Union Council directive banned conventional battery cages in the EU from January 2012 for welfare reasons. This has led to a significant decrease in the number of eggs from battery cages in the EU, European Union, if you don't know. The 2012 battery cage ban was publicized as heralding an end to cage hens throughout Europe, but it created a widely held misconception that all laying hens in the UK are now either free range or barn birds. That is not the case. Although battery cages are illegal, farmers have skirted the ban by providing slightly bigger cages with enrichment such as perches. The hens in these conditions are now called X-cage colony hens. Battery cages also used for mink, rabbit, chinchilla, and fox in fur farming, and most recently for the Asian palm civet for Kopi Luwak production of coffee. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So these aren't new. These have been around for a long time. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on. I thought my headphones were plugged in, but they weren't. Let's see here. There's a video.
56.000 kippen leggen in Haren in Noord-Brabant 40.000 eieren per dag. Een productie die voor een deel afhankelijk is van goede voeding. Deze bestaat uit een mengsel van maïs, vismeel, haver, mineralen, vitaminen en gasmeel. Alleen volledige automatisering kan tot grote productie leiden. En dat is hier gebeurd. Op een lopende band wordt het voer langs de legbatterijen geleid. In elk hok zitten maximaal 3 kippen, wier enige bezigheid bestaat uit eten en eieren leggen. Ook voor de watervoorziening is uitstekend gezorgd. De werkdag van een kip duurt hier 18 uur. Niet alleen via de watergoten.
Okay, I can't understand that either. Huh, it's German. Anyway, video advertising the system in the early history of the battery cage. Yeah, this has been around for a long time. Apparently, an early reference to battery cages appears in Milton Arndt's 1931 book Battery Brooding, where he reports that his cage flock was healthier and had higher egg production than his conventional flock. At this early date, battery cages already had the sloped floor that allowed eggs to roll to the front of the cage, where they were easily collected by the farmer and out of the hen's reach. Arndt also mentions the use of conveyor belts under the cages to remove manure, which provides better air control quality and reduces fly breeding. Original battery cages extended the technology used in battery brooders, which were cages with a wire mesh floor and integral heating elements for brooding chicks. The wire floor allowed the manure to pass through, removing it from the chick's environment and reducing the risk of manure-borne diseases. Early battery cages were often used for selecting hens based on performance, since it is easy to track how many eggs each hen is laying if only one hen is placed in the cage. Later, this was combined with artificial insemination, giving a technique where each egg's parentage is known. The method is still used today. Wow. Okay, so this form of battery is coming into widespread use throughout the country and apparently is solving a number of the troubles encountered with laying hens in the regular laying house on the floor. Hmm. Uh, okay. So legislation in Canada. In February 2016, 90% of egg-laying hens in Canada lived in battery cages. That month, negotiations between egg farmers, animal welfarists, and the government resulted in a what? Moratorium, wow, on construction of the new battery cages from April 1st, 2017, and a gradual 15-year phase out of battery cages towards enriched caged or cage-free systems by 2036. No, that's it? Yeah. Okay. But that was from 2017. Hmm. Anyway, activist group Mercy for Animals was glad with the announced phase out. Mercy for Animals is an international nonprofit animal protection organization founded in 1999 by Milo Runkel. MFA's mission to prevent cruelty to farmed animals and promote compassionate food choices and policies. Was glad with the announced phase out, but called the timetable simply outrageous and argued that more urgency was required. Some food companies such as Cara Foods, Tim Hortons, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Starbucks, and Subway announced they would phase out non-cage free eggs much sooner than 2036. Okay, so that's probably the whole idea behind this is the length of time, the phase out thing. So 2036, yeah, but that's not. That's not 15 or 14 years from now. 2022. No, wait. 2036 minus 2022. Yeah, okay, 14 years from now. Huh. Okay, so they must have put the 15-year phase out thing in here last year. See, that would make sense. Uh, United States. As of March 2020, California, Massachusetts, Washington, Michigan, Ohio, and Rhode Island had passed laws banning the use of battery cages, and the former three additional banned the sale of eggs produced in battery cages. Michigan's ban of battery cages and the sale of non cage free eggs in the state, adopted in November 2019, will enter into force at the end of 2024. The passage of California Proposition 2 in 2008 aimed in part to reduce or eliminate the problems associated with the battery cages by setting the standard for space relative to free movement and wingspan rather than cage size. Battery cages are also illegal in Michigan due to HB 5127, passed in 2009, which mandates that certain farm animals have enough room to stand up, lie down, turn around, and extend their limbs, rather than being confined in tiny cages, small cages. In Ohio, there's a moratorium. Does anybody know what that means? A temporary prohibition of an activity. Legal authorization to debtors to postpone payment. Okay. On permits for the construction of new battery cages as of June 2010. Oregon SB 805 also banned battery cages and set forth a transition to enriched colony cages, doubling the space per egg-laying hen. This law served as the model for a national agreement between the Humane Society of the United States and the United Egg Producers. Okay, so I just read the legislation for Canada and the US. Um, if you're in any other country, you can go down into the description, click on the Wikipedia page that I'm reading this from, and read the part that says your country there. But I know that most of you are from Canada and the US, right? I think so, yeah. Um, okay, so there's welfare concerns, chick culling, beak trimming, cage size, light manipulation, osteoporosis, forced molting. Sorry about that. And the last paragraph is about improving welfare for egg producing hens. Uh, The Scientific Veterinary Committee of the European Commission stated that enriched cages and well designed non cage systems have already been shown to have a number of welfare advantages over battery systems in their present form. Supporters of battery husbandry contended that alternative systems such as free range also have welfare problems, such as increases in cannibalism, feather pecking, and vent pecking. A recent review of welfare in battery cages made the point that such welfare issues are problems of management, unlike the issues of behavioral deprivation, which are inherent in a system that keeps hens in such cramped and barren conditions. Free range egg producers can limit or eliminate injuries or injurious pecking, particularly feather pecking, through such strategies as providing environmental enrichment, feeding mash instead of pellets, keeping roosters in with the hens, and arranging nest boxes so hens are not exposed to each other's vents. Similar strategies are more restricted or impossible in battery cages. All right, so they're doing something about this. It's very unfortunate that it has to be like this, but apparently, yeah, been like this since the 30s and 1931. So at least 1931, it's been around. So yeah, it's just a shame that they're waiting until like 2036 to do something about it. They should be doing this right now. There are some places in the world that are doing it right now. I think the whole world should be doing this right now. Tell me what you think. That's what the comment section is for. It's for discussing what you see in these videos. So do that. Make me happy. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. When she handed me this, first thing I thought was I'm gonna do a video about this. I'm gonna let my viewers and the rest of the world know what's going on, these hens and everything. I mean, should we boycott eggs? Stop eating eggs altogether? I don't know. I mean, I think we need eggs in our diet. So that's the thing. Eggs and meat and all that sustenance that we need. Because if everybody turns into vegetarians, or at least in my opinion, if everybody turns into vegetarians, we're going to be so weak. We're not going to have any meat in our systems. We're not going to have that aggression that we need. We're just going to be all, well, whatever. And the government comes in and picks at us and does whatever they want. And that's how they get control. So don't do that. Don't turn into a vegetarian or a vegan or whatever they want to call themselves. Eat what you want to eat. Don't let anybody else decide your diet. You know, except for sugar. Don't don't consume too much sugar. Don't be like me. Don't end up with my health problems. Just everything in moderation. I'm slowly learning that, and you should too.